The Minnesota Timberwolves control the tap. Jimmy Butler goes down last year, nearly cost Minnesota the playoffs. When he's healthy, what makes him so dangerous?
Well, he's a versatile player. He's a guy that can lock up on the defensive end and the guy that can give you 20-plus points every single night. Let's remember, he missed 21 games last year. That's a quarter of the season. But the team didn't do that bad without him. They went 10 and 11. If these guys can finally come together and build some chemistry, they're a team that could be a 6 or a 5 seed in the West.
A lot of contact, no whistle. Wiggins to Towns. Lets it fly from beyond the arc, and Karl-Anthony Towns. Muscle memory put to good use there.
But it was how he created the shot. As a defender, there's a tendency to stand up when you stare at the ball. Offensive player recognized that, continuously moved without the ball. Bang, that's how he set it up.
And Towns is there for the board. Jeff Teague, good start. He's made his first shot.
The defense needs to be in more of a stance and react better. A player with that kind of NBA talent level will get to the rim every time with moves like that.
Joe Ingles to Rubio. The shot denied by Towns. And he stepped out of bounds. Turns the ball over. Jay, we talk about it all the time. The coaches in this league, who best puts their players in a position to shine? And now I give you Quinn Snyder.
I remember Quinn Snyder, after an ugly loss to Atlanta last year, really made some changes to their system. And here's the thing I love about Quinn Snyder. He recruited me when I was 15 and 16 years old. He was an assistant coach at Duke. The way he spoke to me really got me to buy in. He taught me that it was about being part of something bigger than yourself. And when you buy into what Quinn Snyder preaches, that's how you end up beating OKC in the first round of NBA playoffs.
Joe Ingles. Now a pass stolen by the Timberwolves. To Butler. Knocks it down from mid-range.
You know, Jimmy Buckets really has an inspiring story. From being homeless at the age of 13 before moving in with a friend, reads like a basketball version of The Blind Side. That grit has become the fabric of his DNA. From Tyler Junior College to Marquette to the 30th pick in the first round, are you kidding me? To where he is now, Jimmy Buckets has had to earn every inch that this game has given him.
And it's blocked.
Oh, and he can't keep it in off the block.
Man, that was impressive.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
Rudy Gobert missed his first. That one goes.
You have to understand something. I do not care that you're 1 of 6 from the field. The only statistic that matters is the final score.
A fundamental shot right there.
Oh, man, you're not supposed to be able to do that with that size, but in today's game, dexterity and mobility are off the charts for bigs.
Rubio. Mitchell on the drive, but he can't finish. T-Wolves with the basketball. Yes, and the foul, and a chance at 3 coming up.
And I know there's so much excitement about the play, but everybody looks at the player. More people need to pay attention to the guy at the end of the bench, the strength and conditioning coach, because this kid's been putting in the time and effort every day in the weight room.
Andrew Wiggins trying to cash in on the three-point play. A career 74% free throw shooter. Here's Rubio into the front court. Down 12. For 3, very little's gone right in this first quarter, but with that 3, you look at the scoreboard, they're back within 9.
And Ed, Rome was not built in one day. You can't rush the process. Just keep chipping away. Chip, chip, chip.
He was all over him. Missed the shot, no free throws. Jimmy Butler, 2 for 2. That's what you want. We talk so much about who are the MVP candidates, but there are other guys who are so valuable to their teams, and Jimmy Butler at the forefront of that list.
I have a phrase that I use when I describe players like Jimmy Butler. It's called most valuable mentality. There are certain players that approach the game with a certain mindset every single day that they will do anything possible to win the ball game. He plays with his heart and soul every single possession and every night, and he will leave it on the court if that means he can win the ball game.
Utah with the possession to Rubio. Gobert, hand in his face, still hits. You don't see that very often.
Old school equals high percentage.
Butler into the front court. It's an 8-point lead. Karl-Anthony Towns. He's now 5 for 6. To Joe Ingles. Here comes the screen. From the painted area, won't go down. Teague with it up top. Lead stands at 10. Butler to Towns. Defense making the ball handler work. Off the assist.
I like that aggression early. You never just settle for jumpers. You attack, you attack, you attack. Then when they back off, you'll have room to shoot that, Jay.
Rubio into the front court. Down a dozen. And they call the foul. Jay, he was there too late.
It's still early, so no real impact on that call. But you know that they're going to call this one tight, so you might want to keep your hands out of his pocket.
Donovan Mitchell at the line. And he connects on the first free throw.
For the Timberwolves, number 25, Derrick Rose. For the Utah Jazz.
And fails to hit them both. Hits the first, misses the second. Rose into the front court. It's an 11-point game. To Towns. Inside, he scores.
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays, no one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
Screen coming.
Coming right.
Oh, that's rejected by Towns.
That's why a rim protector is a necessity in this game.
Knocked loose. Drive on the baseline, but his shot stays out.
And that's next level defense. The defender took away the pocket space of the shooter. Now, as a shooter, they shoot hundreds of shots each and every day from that pocket with consistency. Now you force them to change the angle or the positioning of that pocket, you're going to lower the chances of them making that shot.
47 wins for Minnesota. They squeak into the playoffs. What's key to take that next step?
If you're Scott Layden, the GM of the Wolves, the one person you're waiting for to arrive is Andrew Wiggins. Now, he had an impressive 3 seasons that earned him a max deal. But we watched this young man go from being the second option behind Jimmy Butler to now the third option behind Karl-Anthony Towns. He averaged 17.5 points last year, but you need him to be a max-type player for this team to take the next leap.
Both coaches hitting the reset button. Fresh legs coming onto the floor. Joe Ingles at the line for a chance at a 3-point play. For his career, 76% from the line. And a putback slam.
The true measure of Rudy Gobert comes on the defensive end. He was all-NBA defensive first team and was tied for the lowest opponent field goal percentage at 43%. You ain't getting by that.
Dakari Johnson rejects it. Second block in this quarter. Butler.
That kid can block out the sun, Ed.
Fires the 3. Not that time. Mitchell with it up top. Trailing by 11. Not a good pass there. T-Wolves have it. Rose into the front court. Looking to make something happen. They get it down for Towns. To Rose. Butler cleans it up. Offensive board. On the follow. Way to stay with it.
And see, this is simple. This is where the PG pulls the bigs over to the side and says, we can't allow that to happen. You need to be an enforcer down low.
Here comes the screen. Curling inside. Send it away.
Did you see how far he got up? He kept going up and up and up. I think he's still going up.
Tough-looking shot there. Still gets it to go down.
This game is so mental. Trust me. Some nights you get poor effort defensively. You can't make any shots. Then you see the ball go in. Boom. Switch turned on.
Shot from the lane won't go.
You see, this is something that everybody has, but some people choose to use it or not. I'm glad you choose to use effort on getting around those screens.
He was hacked. They let it go.
Woo! I like that intensity on that play. That's how you actually dig in the dirt and do your job on the defensive end.
To Butler from long range. Mitchell with the rebound. Jazz have the ball. To Gobert. Has a look. Deep two there, won't go. To Rose. Terrific vision. And scores. Karl-Anthony Towns with the finish.
In an era where big centers often get devalued, Karl-Anthony Towns is a true foundational player. He can function as a traditional center, but also can show you quick moves around the perimeter and knock down that three-point shot from deep.
Screen coming. Beyond the arc for three. Had made his first couple, but he misses there.
And there's always so much talk about defense. How about offensively? If you continue to attack that shooter, now you're making him work on the defensive end. That makes him take his legs away on the offensive end.
To Joe Ingles. Fires the three. And the rebound taken by the Wolves. Butler to bring it up. Shot clock turned off as they get a chance to build their lead. Off the mark. Here's Karl-Anthony Towns. Karl-Anthony Towns. He's unconscious. 75%. Deep three at the buzzer. We played one at Target Center with the Timberwolves on top. Jay and I return to Minneapolis after this. You're watching and it might be time to empty the bench, Jay. This game appears to be well in hand.
And their starting five has certainly earned the fourth quarter off. They've been terrific this ball game. And this is the type of game where you find a chance to relax. You ice up, you watch your other teammates play, you applaud them, and you get ready for the next game.
Here comes the screen. And Jimmy Butler. Deep two there, won't go. It's Jazz ball. Rubio to Joe Ingles.
Right.
Takes stock of the floor. It's no good. Great defense.
That's how you do it. You keep riding him to the basket, and if the refs aren't calling it, keep being physical. Keep knocking him off balance.
Rose to Butler. Fires the three. They dare Jimmy Butler to take it, and he makes them pay.
It's easy to get lost in the chaos of the game down the stretch, but great awareness by the shooter to get those toes right behind the three-point line.
From the painted area, won't go down. Rose into the front court. His guys down big, and too much contact.
He took a chance. That's the right call.
Both teams tweaking their lineups. Here come some changes.
Number 27, Rudy Gobert.
To Wiggins. 5 to shoot for Minnesota. Going to launch beyond the arc. It's good. That's the shot they wanted him to take.
Great shot by the offense, but the defense, you can't afford to collapse off that penetration. I'd rather a team take a tough two than a wide open three.
Here comes the screen. Missed it. Almost a foul. They let it go. The follow won't go either.
What happened is he didn't balance himself off the defender. He didn't initiate contact. He allowed the contact to initiate him. We could break that down later in the broadcast, but that's why he missed that easy chipper.
Utah with the possession. Here comes the screen. Rubio to Gobert. Oh, he had him there for a second. Inside, he scores.
You know, it reminds me of a story a legendary coach once told me. He said, if you ever get in a fight, you're not going to hit somebody with an open hand, correct? You'll probably break a finger. But if you hit somebody with a fist, what is that? That's 5 fingers working collectively together as one. That's how you deliver a knockout punch, and that's what we're seeing tonight.
Watch the screen, watch the screen.
Joe Ingles. Jones with it. He'll run the offense. Shot from the lane won't go.
Show me something better than that, baby.
That's out of bounds. Last touch by the Jazz. Some lineup changes now for both clubs. T, a shot, no good. Jazz have the ball. Joe Ingles to Rubio. Sizing up the defense.
Hey, back door, watch that back door.
Scores from the post.
Well, the shooting has been spectacular, but one of the things that I've seen as the difference maker in this ball game is how they are catching the basketball. They're not establishing a pivot foot, which leaves the defense wondering which way you can drive, but when that shot is working like that, you got it any way you want.
Lets it fly from long range. Oh, he couldn't get it to go. Teague with it up top. Looking to make something happen. Derrick Rose. Small sample size, but making the most of it. He's 1 for 2.
I wasn't quite expecting him to get there, but I can be wrong. Sometimes, not a lot, but maybe sometimes.
4-3. Tough shot for Joe Ingles. No good.
He had such a great first half, but obvious adjustments were made defensively to shut him down, and now he's really starting to struggle.
Joe Ingles. Now a pass stolen by the Timberwolves.
Tonight, it may not cost you, but in a playoff game, it will.
Wiggins. Not that time. He missed it. To Joe Ingles. Here's a chance from long range. Ingles taking the momentum of the 2018 playoffs into that 3.
I love the pure confidence on that jumper. He takes that 3 despite the defender being right in front of his face. That's borderline disrespectful.
Has a chance. Shot by T. Won't go down. To Rubio. And that's rebounded by Minnesota. To Teague. Stuffs it down with authority.
And ISO basketball is becoming a thing of the past. Team basketball is back. And if you have that personnel with the versatility plus the mindset, game over.
Knocks it down from mid-range.
Did you see the way that dribble freed him up? It created so much space. I did, but the defender didn't.
Now a timeout here for the Timberwolves as they'll make sure they're all on the same page here in the 4th quarter. Mixing things up. Hockey line substitutions. Both teams making changes. T trying to finish, but he can't get it to go.
Because he had no body control. You have to be able to control your body when you attack the rim at full speed. That's part of your concentration. People assume concentration just on the rim, but your body control is everything. Be able to speed yourself up or slow yourself down.
T to Taj Gibson. Cleans the offensive glass. F.A. Udo.
Oh, and he can't keep it in off the block.
Man, that was impressive.
Ed, that's light work for a guy with his ability.
Gibson. Has a look. Gets a look. Can't hit. Utah's got it. Almost. And he's not getting the call. Grabs his own miss and scores. Good concentration.
Ed, I think I speak for Minnesota Timberwolves fans everywhere. We're still waiting to see if the real Andrew Wiggins wants to step up and go to the next level. He averaged 18 points per game last year, but that was a drop back from the year before. For a guy being drafted #1 overall, expectations are sky high.
T. Big finish at the rim.
I see the easy dunk, but what I don't see is energy. Scream, do something, get yourself emotionally involved in the game.
Here comes the screen. Nothing going here on that drive to Zach LaVine. Short jumper stays out.
I just love where this takes you into the psychological battle as a player offensively. Was that a great contest, or did you just miss the shot? But now you have me thinking about that the entire next possession.
T. And they call the foul. Felt the breeze there, Jay.
A simple touch foul.
The opposing coach is going to counter, make some changes of his own.
Utah Jazz are in penalty.
Wiggins.
Substitutions, Minnesota.
Rudy Gobert swats it. Fourth this contest. Utah ball to Gobert. Won't go down.
And that's next level defense. The defender took away the pocket space of the shooter. Now, as a shooter, they shoot hundreds of shots each and every day from that pocket with consistency. Now you force them to change the angle or the positioning of that pocket, you're going to lower the chances of them making that shot.
First free throw is good. No back-to-back free throws here. He missed the second. To LaVine. Nothing going here on that drive. Here comes the screen. And the reward, a couple of shots at the line.
Look, I get it. Being down sucks. But you can't just start haphazardly playing defense and committing silly fouls. Play this game with purpose.
First one, count it.
For the Timberwolves, number 67.
And he makes them both. It's Minnesota basketball. Runner's good there.
Not always the first option, but his number was definitely called on that one.
Curling inside. Oh, that's rejected by Towns.
Here's one of the biggest secrets as we move into this new age of basketball, especially in the draft room. You have to draft players with size and length. That's the biggest deterrent for any team offensively.
Tough make through traffic.
He's been doing this for years, the physicality in which he plays. No one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
Here comes the screen. LaVine. Goes reverse to lay it in.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. It's Jazz ball. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. That no good off the mark. It's the Jazz who come away with the victory as they win this one handily. For Jay Williams and all our crew, I'm Ed Cohen saying so long for now. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports.